Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Savage AF, man. Forget your feelings. Facts matter. I think today we're just going to go ahead and skip all of the Hufflepuff and filth, flying filth. Follow the show. The YouTube channel is scrolling at the bottom. I'm Black Pedro. This is the show.
Shay. Hey, you know what though? I'm definitely going to promote violence more now.
Well, you won't have to. It's on the menu. It's tonight's special. Savage AF, man. Should we just go ahead and start crushing now? Cause it's one of them days, man.
I think so.
Man,
Some motherfucking bullshit.
fuck your feelings. Facts matter. The fact of the matter is, Donald J. Trump, Dumpty Humpty Dance, defeated Kamala Harris last night / early this morning. 291, I think, electoral votes is what he got.
Yeah.
Um,
Popular vote too, unfortunately.
and it looks like he has won the popular vote as well. So this is a definitive statement. Um, and it comes directly from your fellow Americans. And I'll just keep the message going. If you are white and you voted for Donald Trump, you are a racist.
Yeah, this is definitely they definitely have shown they give zero fucks. I mean, if you look at the rating of by race, the race by sex, by race, I think I didn't crop it completely.
Yeah, let
But
me remove this banner real quick.
okay, so white men 74%.
Voted,
White
voted for Trump.
Right, white women 69%.
Mm.
Black men 16%. You motherfuckers. Can't say that for black women. 8%. That's a high percentage, of
90,
black women that voted for Kamala.
90%
Latin,
of women voted for Kamala
you
Harris.
fucking Latins, maybe you call garbage and you still down with it. You know he's gonna deport a bunch of you and you're still down. 45%. That's a lot, man.
That's a lot.
Latino women 40%, and all other races. Fuck you too. Fuck all y'all. So if you look at that, white men primarily voted this one. Yeah.
White women, I honestly thought you were gonna do better. You'll be getting a lot less dick from me. Okay, I'm gonna tell you that right now.
I don't think you should go that extreme.
You're right. Let's write.
You know what? Don't get ahead of yourself. That's crazy.
No,
now,
but
now crazy talk.
Yeah, you see, man, it's driving me nuts. But I said it here, and I'll be the first to say.
And what did I say?
Hey, man, listen, I'm trying to admit it. I was completely wrong. I really thought that white women were going to go into this booth and, vote against the guy that essentially that brags about bringing down Roe v. Wade. I really thought that was going to be important to them. But what I do realize, and this must have been part of the strategy in in the Dobbs decision, so that it would get kicked back to the states, so that these women could vote for Donald Trump and also vote for abortion rights in their state on a state by state level. You know what I'm saying? Like, because there were some states where abortion was on the ballot, and over again, we're seeing that even in conservative red states, these initiatives are being shot down. So they're getting their cake and eating it too. Essentially, white women, they got to support their racist ass redneck shit biscuit husband of a man, Dwayne man, a punk motherfucker, but also they got to vote on a state level to protect their own reproductive rights.
Well, I mean, Trump won, got it. Y'all, I know I'm gonna start hearing this shit from people, and people ask me, "Are you gonna change your act?" Fuck no, I ain't changing shit. Y'all gonna get all this smoke.
My mom was like, "Are you gonna still do the show?" I was like, "Savage AF." She's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Ain't no sense in ain't no need to be quiet now." Shit, like, I'm already on the list. Listen, this man's
already got flagged.
and plus, honestly, this mass deportation shit. Like I'm I'm very interested to see how this goes down because I know my name, Pedro Hernandez.
There's a
It
very good chance, man.
might not.
Hey,
It's obviously not going to be referring to me, but my name, those letters are on that. I'm sure there are a trillion Pedro Hernandezes here that they're going to try and round up.
and
And
you're gonna be one of them. And you know what? We'll make sure that we hide you in the cellar.
not come knocking at my door with that yim.
The bullshit of it is the fact that I'll give you an example. Vanity Fair had a digital thing where it's like 34 felony counts, 1 conviction, 2 cases pending, 2 impeachments, 6 bankruptcies, 4 more years, the 47th American president. Look at this evil Sauron face fuck. Let me tell y'all something. Anybody that is voted for him, if I find out you voted for him, if I find out that you are leaning that way, don't fuck with me. You at arm's length. I'm telling you, bip, bap, bip. I'm not fucking with you no more.
They're about to be out loud and proud.
And then I'm gonna just and imagine, like I've already gotten it on stage before this. Imagine now, where somebody's gonna be like, "Hey, shut up with your Trump jokes. He's our president. Suck my dick." How about that? Fuck you. Goofy.
Yeah, no, I mean, so I don't know if everybody who voted for Donald Trump is aware of what they did, doesn't care, or is just too stupid to know. But I do believe we're about to see, like black people, keep your head on the swivel. I'm not talking about tomorrow. You got to be paranoid every day. But who will pick the strawberries, Gregory Calloway? Well, I'm anticipating because of Project 2025, because of overt things that Trump has said out loud, that we are going to see an increase in police brutality. We're going to see stop and frisk come back. And who will pick the strawberries? The only slaves left. Once they kick out the immigrant labor, who you gonna think they're gonna throw you in prison? They're gonna throw us all in prison and make niggas pick strawberries and make textiles and
oranges.
Yeah, man, we gonna be out there.
You know what? This
is the crazy again.
You know what I thought, Pedro? I hope he do all the crazy shit he said he's gonna do, so they can see that, they pay for your fucking your misguided vote. I want to see, because it's gonna be Republicans too. They talking about, well, women are gonna be bleeding out and not be able to get the care they need and stuff like that. That Republican women will too. Unless they just go, "What are you, a Republican? Okay, you can get the abortion." That's the only thing that I can see.
Yeah, they want to do a nationwide Project 2025. I know. So LG said, "Not over here. Free is free." I will challenge you on that, LG. Actually, freedom costs. There are great costs, especially when you're dealing with fascists. So. I don't say this part lightheartedly because, again, I am a bit shocked by the result. I really thought we'd be fighting, the big lie part 2 again. But no, America made its choice, especially white America made a choice. And in the face of that, whether they know it or not, and they probably, a lot of them, I'm sure, would love to see it. But we are going to see an increase in violence, I believe, against Black people and obviously immigrants as well.
For sure.
And in order to stay free in a system like this, it will take actions greater than voting. I know that.
Wow. And what are you trying? Hold on. What are you trying to say?
Well, I'm saying, like, I think we are going to have to, like, physically defend ourselves, like protect yourself. I'm not talking about going out and starting anything again, but it's not even, I think it's a stated thing in
it's a fact. It's a fact.
He said out loud that they want to stop and frisk. That will lead to greater arrests. You will become a felon whether you did it or not. You will make the uniform. You will go pick the thing, and it's gonna come at you different. And I know, like, we've all. I'm Gen X. We've all lived in an age where you hear about slavery and like, ain't no way. I would never let them, man. Listen,
yeah.
When the guns come cracking, when the Nazis come knocking, it's really not what you think. It's not gonna be like, y'all ain't gonna just, nigga.
Yeah, they
You think
are.
your ancestors thought or felt or whatever, like they were no different. You don't realize the circumstance in which
No, you know why it's
you were
different now?
forced
Because the
to do
level
so.
of armory we can get to. So it might be a little bit
Yeah,
different
but
ballgame.
like are niggas trained for this? Like, what? Like, are you like, you know what I'm saying? Like, for real, bro. It's not. This ain't a movie, dog. Like, it's not like you just gonna be like. There's no montage scene where you're like, dun 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 dun. Like, y'all
No,
niggas
I'm
don't
gonna
know
tell
what
you why.
you're doing.
No,
Like, y'all don't know what
you,
you're doing
you
with
know
this.
why? Last night when I thought that before even the vote came up, where I thought this is the case, I thought they didn't hire a white woman as president. What the fuck makes me think they're gonna hire a woman of color?
And look how, and you know that we never really talked about this because you just didn't see it at the time, or at least I didn't. But you know, it was a setup for her too. Like, I'm first and foremost gonna blame Joe Biden for not dropping out of this race when he won in 2020. You know what I'm saying? In
Right.
2020, he should have been like, I'm doing this one time, you know, and then and she could have had more time to introduce herself to the nation. She threw together a 100-day campaign.
He did a very good campaign within a short amount
And
of
yeah,
time.
yeah. So you know,
It was a
like
very good campaign.
there nobody runs a perfect campaign, but and you know, Democrats as a whole obviously have an issue because you know, and other things we'll talk about beyond this presidency, these motherfuckers have lost the Senate, the fucking
And the House.
still up for grabs, bro. Like if they
They
get
lost
all
the House.
three, dude, if they get all three parts, the
It's
presidency,
yeah.
the House, and the House is still up for grabs, but the Senate is gone.
No, the House is done.
No, no, it's not. It's literally not. They're behind, but there's still room. Like it's possible. It's up for grabs still. The House is up for grabs. The Senate is decided. They have a majority already.
And in fact, they gained. And that made me realize this is white people saying, and when in his speech he said, "This is your country," he didn't say everybody's country. He didn't say the people that aren't MAGA. He is specifically saying that MAGA, this is your shit now. And the bottom line, and this is in his speech. So don't act like who else could get away with the shit he did. I kept thinking double standard, double standard, double standard. He acts like he's sucking the dick on stage. She says a word wrong, the news is down her throat. And even now, I couldn't even watch the news because they were irritating me. They talk about what she did wrong instead of what's wrong with this fucking country and this white supremacist ass mentality and the crazy shit that he said. They still doing it. So fuck them forever. We the new media, Savage AF. And if you fuck with us, one, you got to subscribe to the goddamn channel. You got to make sure you do that. You got to make sure that you give us thumbs up and get the algorithm popping so we can really give the real. The real is this is a white supremacist move. White people know that they are becoming less and less. The more they will be the minority, and this was their last shot at it. But the problem is, it's going to change the courts forever. I don't know how much fuckery he's going to do in 2 years, because there might be a blue wave after that, maybe.
Now Sotomayor can't go nowhere, or we're really fucked. So she's got to stick around. But you know, and another thing is that for a lot of people, again, I'm not even sure that it was such this like, I mean, this movement and this Republican Party is led by a bunch of white supremacists, but I'm not sure that every white person that went for it. I mean, if you voted for Donald Trump, you are racist, even by default. But a lot of people also got focused on this economy and things cost too much, and you know, just don't know. I was talking with my mother this morning, like, you know, no matter what bits of information that you put out there, I mean, real facts about the Biden Harris administration are not getting to a MAGA audience, or even like, you know, just the younger independents or anything like that. Like, they are consuming information from not only false sources, but solely from those, you know what I mean? And then from
TikTok.
IG, that is, the algorithm is just feeding you what you want to hear, right? And I know that. I see 3 things on my IG, dog. big booties, Detroit sports, and politics. Like that's me in a nutshell. You know what I'm saying?
But you know what, Pedro? I am not mad at you about your top
Detroit
three.
sports.
Come
Yeah, no,
on.
that's it. It's and that that's when you don't even realize like, oh, is this all I click on? Like if you really sit back and watch it. But also to your point, Shane, out follow us, tell all your friends. We are going to give
Yeah,
you
we gotta turn the narrative around because right now there's gonna be a lot of bullshit that's gonna be out there. And not to say we're the pinnacle of all truth
yeah,
and
no, we're
but
not
we keep it real way more than the motherfucking CNN bitch ass
what
and MSNBC's bitch ass because they could have went harder in the paint on the absolute factual lies that this
here's the
man
thing.
did.
Here's the thing. We are not. I don't believe that we are the new media. You and I, right?
We
But
are. I'm
no, but
calling it.
what we because no, I listen. I don't go to the White House and get press. I don't have any inside
But
source.
we will.
No, but what we are is a filter, right? Of somebody that does sit here and consume a lot of this. And I know a lot of people don't have a lot of time. So you can join us Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. and get a synopsis. But just understand that, yeah, this is just a certain perspective. Because, like, on the other side, there's some guys who are only, and I'm saying guys specifically, especially because what we found too is that, a lot of these white dudes, when Trump did Rogan and Theo Vaughn and things like that, like he was able to really touch their hearts. You know what I mean? But there are
with
these
with
guys,
blatant lies,
yeah, but
mistruths, and
but there are
everything
these
else.
guys out here who are just listening to Rogan and Theo Vaughn or what, but they just have this one source of stuff that they listen to, and whatever they say or whatever, So I'm encouraging everybody to like broaden your perspective so that you have clearer vision.
So
And then I'd love to be part of that because I'm gonna help you interpret this shit. You know what I'm saying?
right, because we definitely put in work watching and consuming it. But you think it's going to affect comedy?
I mean,
I
you
do.
know, I don't. I honestly, I don't even give a fuck, dog. Like this is this is about like I'm looking at a crazy America coming. Like I'm not trying to be an alarmist, but
This
this
is it right here.
but this totally validates all the shit we saw on January 6th. These people are validated now, and they have already proven to be fucking violent. And we know Trump, we know what he's about to do. This man is never ever going to leave office until he dies. And this movement, they are going to do whatever they can to keep him in there. They are already willing to subvert the Constitution. They don't give a fuck about that. Like they want a strong man. And it's just the way you don't vote in a dictator every 4 years. That's what the whole fucking point of our shit was. Peaceful transition of power. These motherfuckers are not about that. He is never going to give up this office peacefully again. And while it's noble and the right thing to do, it does sicken me to watch Vice President Kamala Harris's concession speech because it is noble. It is the right thing to do. It is the correct thing to
Did
do.
she do it? I haven't even checked. Has she done it
Yes,
yet?
she did it already. Like at about 1:00 Pacific Standard Time, 4:00 Eastern Time. She was out in front of Howard University. But yeah, there is just this is we're about to see a different thing. They're about to peacefully hand over this shit to Adolf Hitler, dog. And this is how it happened in Germany. Motherfucker tried a coup once, went to jail, came back talking crazier and stronger, whipped them up into a fervor, and then just started rounding up Jews and other ethnic people. You know what I'm saying? And doing whatever the fuck they wanted.
Well,
America
Haitian.
wouldn't even jump in to stop it until the Japanese bomb Pearl
Yeah.
Harbor. Like nobody steps in to stop that shit until
They haven't done it now. It's
way too far.
Everybody in the feed, get ready for it. I last night I was like trying to avoid it. It got in my chest a little bit, but today I just thought I just got to be better. I got to be crisper and make sure I handle the business I need to handle it, and not stab somebody in the forehead with a fork.
So I don't know this name. Welcome to the show. Bantu Mandinka says, LOL, y'all think this is that deep? Trump is going to take over as a dictator? That motherfucker is knocking on death's door. Be serious. So no matter how he lives, how long he lives, Bantu, it is the goal and the mission that is important. And it will be a legacy that is passed down through the party.
JD Vance.
Like, I'm telling you, once it's done, it's done. Like it's and listen, all of these voters who voted for Trump, by the way, it looks like way less people participated in this election, by the way. Trump got like 3 million less votes than he got last time, and Kamala Harris got 15 million less votes than Biden did. But once the Republican Party figures out a way to absolutely stay in power, they are going to use that model, and Trump is the mechanism. He's the, the prototype.
Right. Yo, Bantu.
So I mean, I agree with you. Like,
no, I didn't. No,
I said to somebody yesterday, well, the bright side is Trump could die by January, just natural causes. Like, he fat as hell, he's unhealthy, but then you got JD Vance as your next president. And I'm telling you, that it's about a mechanism. Trump was just the dude up front, but the real mechanism is maintain power. And they are
okay, the Bantu, you got to understand, it's not about just Trump. It's Trumpism. It's MAGAism. It's that whole mentality of, we're going to tell you what to do. This is a white world, a white nation, white people, and us snowfleas are the ones that'll tell you what to do with your body, with your pussy, with this. We're going to turn back the clock. If you're gay, you can't be married. It's not right. They're going to dictate everything that they say that they don't want dictated to them. So they're hypocrites and double standards. And the bottom line is, if you think that the violence is not going to occur from cops towards us, you're just dumb. You're really not you, Bantu. People, you're dumb.
Do understand with a name like Bantu Mandinka, your name is going to be on the list. Okay.
Yeah.
They're going to be looking for you. Like, where are your papers? Miyu says, Pedro, those numbers don't make sense. How are there record-breaking amounts of people voting, but then the candidates receive less votes? Well, the numbers I gave, it was a stat that I saw, and it was stated, and you could see it numerically, because I was thinking that, like, at the time, it was like Trump had 71 million votes in the popular vote, and Kamala Harris had 66 million. Now, there are still a lot of votes to be counted, but the majority of the stuff is in. So, she's
conceded it's over. The bottom line is, what are we going to do now? And the bottom line is, right now, Rollo called me this morning and said, man, I'm buying a gun. You want me to give me, I'm getting my piece. And I'm like, I've been saying that shit. I've been wanting it, but now I'm going to find a way to do it legally, because I know, but what difference does it make? They're doing all kind of legal shit. They don't give a fuck about law. They don't give a fuck about, like you said, the Constitution. They don't give a fuck about none of that. Okay, and JD Vance is Nicole Sandler, because he's slick. He's the one that called him Hitler. And now he's rocking with him. He's a fucking snake. And he'll rub his skin off and become a new skin person any chance he gets. Fuck him. Fuck them all. I don't give a fuck if a woman gave me the best pussy in the world. If I found out she was a Trump supporter, I'm pulling out. I'm wiping it on the fucking pillow, and then I'm kicking her ass out. I'm busting a hole, and I'm kicking her out of the fucking house.
LG said passports work too. Now, I know we've joked about it, like, where we going to move to, where we going to live. But it dawned on me this morning, like, there's really nowhere to run from this, because...
Yeah, I'm not going to go. Yeah.
But honestly, because, yes, there are places you could go. But let's say that all of us liberals and whatever, or wherever you sit in this spectrum, you're just non-MAGA, non-white supremacist, non-white Christian male, because that they've stated that that's how they want this country run. Let's say you're that, and we all left and went somewhere. Then we will have left the most powerful country with the largest military to a bunch of crackers.
Yeah, no, we're not.
They gonna do
I didn't think that
the Nazis were all about. They were trying to take over all of Europe, they were taking over the
They
world.
still are.
Yeah, so I mean, like that would just happen here. You know what I'm saying? Like that America would go around and come find your ass on your island.
Bantu saying, but it's kind of disturbing what I'm hearing from Negroes being happy about it and Negroes scared about it. Well, I'm not scared.
I'm just gonna have to really be about that life, because if they rock, we rock. It's the way it's what it's gonna be, because they've already shown that. Yeah, we condone all the fuckery. January 6th. How do you get a person that condoned January 6th? How are you a felon and you're the fucking president? How are all of these things white supremacy in full bloom? This was their time to say, we want our country back, and they meant their country back. They didn't mean everybody, Americans, even though America was built by immigrants. It's a fucked up situation. I was trying to avoid it. I understand your mother asking you not want to do the show no more, because it's like, the fuck, man. It's just gonna be us going, yo, this is some bullshit. Next tomorrow on Savage AF, man, fuck this fuckery. Then next on Savage AF, this is some bullshit. It's gonna be
or it might just end up being some warning channel like, hey man, over on 5th in Manchester, I saw them rounding up a group of Negroes. Run, y'all, don't go downtown because they're doing a sweep.
And then we both go like this.
If you're getting this message, run. You know what I'm saying? Like that, like
they coming.
Now, and be careful of how you obtain whatever mechanisms of defense that you do obtain, Shang, because illegal activity is going to be easy for them to lay on. I mean, they're going to be looking for every fucking reason to throw your black ass in jail, and you're going to be Shang the strawberry picker. They're gonna call you Strawberry Shang.
My fingers, they're all red.
But yeah, I mean, like I was serious about. I think fairly soon into the Trump administration, they're gonna get into some actions, legal or not, correct or not.
By the way, I gotta address YT Johnson. The light from my fucking I have a very big screen. I have the biggest screen you can have on a computer. And the light from my computer makes me look like I'm pale. I'm actually not this high yellow. For anybody in the feed, I'm not this high yellow.
Hey man, you ain't got to explain your yellow to nobody.
Hey man, I'm just saying and there's a ring light, and the ring light don't do shit.
No, there you go.
Yeah, don't do shit. So that's, since you asking the question, you cuck. You fuck you. I just, what makes me upset about it though, is Hispanics. A lot, what the Latino men, that's a pretty high percentage, Pedro. 45%. Latino women, 40%. Other races, that's a pretty high percentage. But the highest percentage obviously is white men, 74%. White women, 69%. Black men, 16%. I thought it was going to be higher. I thought it was 20, 30%, but it wasn't. So we did our part. Black folks have done their part, tried to save this country, couldn't do it this time. And it's because she was a woman. She was a woman of color. Racism, xenophobia, the immigrants are coming to take our dogs, and all that other stuff worked. Constant lies. A lie goes around the earth. What is it? 4 times before the truth can even get off the starting block.
Probably.
Because people they buy into that.
Also, beyond those obvious elements that you pointed out, there is this truth about people's perception of the economy. And, no matter what it is, no matter what we know, Joseph Robinette Biden was an extremely unpopular president. A lot of people did not like him. Fuck, his own party kicked him out. By the way, Joe Biden has got to be the most angry motherfucker in the world. I know he was sitting there like, well, I could have done that. I could have lost, motherfucker. Why y'all kicked me off the campaign if you wasn't going to win?
I think he would have lost even more.
I mean, that doesn't matter.
Lost is the L is the L.
Yeah, like it wouldn't It would
And
not
speaking
make
of L, LG said anti-self and ANF, A and F.
anti-self and
Oh,
anti-black.
that's an and. Oh, okay. So anti-blackness. He said some of the most deplorable stuff about other persons of color, and they still voted for him. That shows you how much self-hate and how much we aspire to be them, and they'll never accept us. This was a glaring example of you ain't like us. This our shit. You ain't got shit to say. We got the Senate, and if we get the House, you ain't getting shit for shit. Nothing. We gonna do what the fuck we want when we want. We're gonna get rid of. You know what? You got books about black authors. They're gone because we said so.
Yeah, man.
Denzel Washington. You know what? We decided to edit him out of Gladiator 2. We want a strong white lead. That's what's gonna happen.
This is it's some serious shit going on, bro. So in terms of what to do, I've heard all of this. The Democrats need to fire everybody and start over and get new leadership. And I'm like, ain't that why we told you don't give us this old ass motherfucker as the fucking candidate in the first place?
We did say that, but the bottom line is, even I'm not gonna shit on, and you know how much I shit on the Democrats. I'm not gonna shit on them this time. It's like, yo, Kamala ran a good campaign, but she was fighting an uphill battle of a country that is just steeped in racism, that can't get past it, that is afraid to have a person of color in power. I know comedy-wise, I know clubs that have a problem with me that didn't used to have a problem with me when I say this is the kind of show I want to put on, this is who I want on the show, whatever. And now I get all kind of static. They're like, no, you're not running shit, nigger boy. We are. It's them wanting their power back because they know they're mediocre. Trump is a mediocre human being at best. And what I forget the other guy that said about him, if he didn't have $200 million to start with, he would have been selling watches in fucking Manhattan. Fake watches. He's horrible.
Me says, I'm so angry with mainstream media. They created Trump by amplifying and covering his antics. They ignored Biden so much that people thought he wasn't doing anything. I mean, you can shit on the Democrats a bit here. They, again, and we can get into this now, across the board, lost the Senate, still could potentially lose the House now. I mean, they have a messaging problem, because the reality is, obviously, they have the better message. They're the better plan, it's the better party for, just like sane humans, for real. And I don't even mean that like the Project 2025 shit is extremely crazy. And when Waltz called them weird, like that was being nice. It seemed like this big jibe or whatever at like a good ribbing or whatever. But like, really, yes, it was weird, but it's more than that. It's like sinister and whatnot. So clearly the Democrats have the better message, but also their inability to like get that.
Because they bitches. They don't go hard in the paint.
Well, I'm saying that's why you can actually go.
I have been saying that. I'm talking about in this situation. This was the insurmountable fucking force of racism in this country that they couldn't overtake, no matter how good their message was, whatever. That is what the problem is. It is not just their messaging. It is part of it, but the bulk of it, the percentage of it, is because racism and fear of immigrants. They're taking over our shit. They're fucking our kids. They're taking our guns. All of that. All of their made up fantasy land bullshit. And now I'm like, I literally thought, what am I gonna do for a living? I started feeling like, am I gonna have to change my whole fucking thing on stage?
Oh, and I mean, no, man. You might not get booked in the South as much, but there's obviously still these blue pockets all around America. So stay in your lane. But Yeah,
But
I you know,
yeah, the Bookers are snow heathens,
yep.
and the Bookers are the ones that tell you who can come and who can't.
You know, I know a lot of white people out there who are like, yeah,
Are,
but
are
you know, me and my family, we just don't talk about things, and you know, we got a rule, just no politics at the dinner table or no politics at Thanksgiving. You know what? That shit doesn't work anymore. Like, if there's good white folk left out there, y'all need to have conversations with your hick ass uncle and your racist ass nephew and shit like that. Like, you guys need to work this shit out, because
it was you.
like that graphic you put up said, this is mostly white people voting for Donald Trump. The
But there was
majority
a
of white
yeah.
people in this country, the majority of white people in this country voted for Donald Trump. Of white voters, the majority of them were Donald Trump
Look at
supporters.
those numbers, people. That's a huge.
31% of white women voted for Kamala Harris. Only 24% of white male voters voted for Kamala Harris, dog. Like, you guys have a real ass problem, man. And this goes back to the Civil motherfucking War. This goes back to the Revolutionary War, when y'all couldn't get along with each other. So you had a revolution, broke away from the crown, and then you got in a fight over Negroes and who could own them, and got into a civil war here. And then they never did anything with the Confederates. They let them back into society. They let them have statues and commemorations and reenactments. Who the fuck reenacts a loss every fucking year? You can imagine if the Buffalo Bills came together to reenact all 4 of their Super Bowl losses.
This is where we just wouldn't run the ball enough.
And let me now do the fumble again. Like, what, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Man,
what the
come on,
fuck
throw the interception. That's how we did it.
we
Okay,
let
but
them all, or
the end of the day is there. You know why? Because Pedro, they're wackadoos. They're hypocritical wackadoos. For you to sit there and say this man's acting like he's giving head and he's not disqualified. For him to be a felon, not disqualified. For him to be a failed businessman, and you say he's better at the economy. No, he's not. He's all of the bad shit about white folks. Everything bad about white folks, they prop up. Because look at his fucking resume of horribleness. Also, the shit with him and underage girls and how he used to go into the dressing room and want to see him make sure everything's okay. He said that on Howard Stern. He's a creepoid, and they're seeing a reflection of who they are in him. Because I see a lot of white people, not all white people, because it was white people that are righteous. It was like, this is fucked up and that's wrong. And this, I can't believe this shit. But the bottom line is, from those numbers, the majority of you motherfuckers were down. You down for the fuckery. You like that shit. And you see yourself in that. I want to call Pedro a nigger Mexican. I want to call him that.
And listen, even though you if you're a white person, if you're one of the 24% or 31% of men or women who are white who voted for Kamala Harris, you know, I really don't want to hear that shit like, well, I did my part. No,
you didn't.
It's time to fuck up Thanksgiving. It's time to make Christmas real motherfucking weird. Okay? Talk to your nephew, talk to your grandma, talk to your auntie. You know, you white people, you all know that you know somebody racist in your motherfucking family. You know, it is not possible to be white in America and not know somebody racist in your family. This is not possible. Okay? It's time to fuck up. Throw that potato salad across the room. It's nasty anyways.
Yeah, and who likes asparagus?
In that motherfucker.
You know what? Jab your cousin in the face with an asparagus spear.
Green bean casserole, my ass. Toss that motherfucker across the room. Get mad.
Fuck take the turkey fork and stab your fucking person next to you.
Fuck that dinner.
This shit right here is going to be wackadoodle. And how do we navigate through the wackadoodleness we're about to deal with? I, again, want him to do all the crazy he said he was going to do, so that everybody sees that this motherfucker was really about that. And I'm serious. I really want to see him do it. So the black people are like, man, I shouldn't vote for that motherfucker. Yeah, stupid.
Especially,
I hate y'all so much right now.
And I hate to say it because I know my name is on the list, but when they start rounding up Latinos, And all these motherfucking the 40 and the 45% of you women and Latino men who voted for Donald Trump and your motherfucking cousins get snatched off the street. And that's not an exaggeration. You know you're gonna know somebody. You know it's going. Some of y'all are business owners and still use some of that labor, don't you? Yeah, yeah. Whether you knew they were documented or not, when they start disappearing, I don't want to hear a goddamn.
Yeah, I won't have any sympathy. They putting us in cages. Well, that's what you voted for. The majority of you voted for. I just, you don't think that even though there's more people that are conscientious than these Trump supporters, you don't think it's going to make it harder for us to navigate through just society? I think it's going to be really hard. They're going to wild out.
Doug, once they get kicking in full gear, they want stop and frisk back. Trump wants the police to be more violent. Part of Project 2025 is this kind of like shock and awe moment where they want the DOJ to come in and start rounding up folks at the FBI, start rounding up, honestly, teachers, librarians, probably motherfuckers like us, go get the more popular ones.
Yeah, first. They said they're going to go after MSNBC for their licensing. They're going after CNN. This is what Trump said, and also his staff whatever the staff was that was with him on this election. They said the same thing. If you say something bad about our dear leader, we're coming after you. And why do I have to put my shades on, Gregory Calloway?
Damani Jones, she says, Pedro, you better change your name to Paul Henderson. That reminds me, yes, I am now Peter Hendricks. My mother's name is Lois Hewitt.
Right.
And they come there's no Pedro here.
Well, Lois.
Also, that's spicy.
My name is Lois. I don't know who you're speaking of. You know what? Would you like some potato salad with raisins? Yeah, this is not the house. This is not the house. Well, it's probably the next one. Think about how many people are going to get caught up in the fishnet of Latino deportation. That it's like, hey, man, wait a minute. I was born in Indiana. Fuck it. You look like a Mexican to me. Get out of here. You think about how many kids that were born here only know America are going to get kicked out of America.
And you know what? I was one of those people at first that was like,
very good idea, Gregory.
I was like one of those people at first that, and like many of us who were like, it would really affect the economy to pull, that many people, especially, there are a lot of undocumented workers in our workforce doing jobs that nobody else wants to do. People are like, who's going to do those jobs? But, now I do realize niggas, like they going to make imprisoned Negroes go do the work. And then they're going to find a reason.
Well, what if the Negroes say, I'm not doing that shit? What would happen? What could they do? Put them in jail again?
What did they do to the other slaves? I'm sure the first round of slaves in America, enslaved Africans, I should say, weren't like, oh yeah, I'd love to pick this cotton all day. They're like, I'm not doing that. Kwacha, okay. Yeah. All right.
No, I will not be picking your cotton.
Yeah. They got that lash, man, and that changed your life.
Well, they can't do that now. They can't do that now. What? I'm kidding. They can't do that now. What do you talk about? Listen, people, it's about to be a shit show. Get your weapons. You know what? I'm actually carving nunchucks from a tree that I outside. They'll be really quality, hard oak. So in case it goes down, I'll teach you how to use them. Let's start getting it's knuckle up time. I've been saying that for a while because these motherfuckers are gonna lose their shit. Imagine a cop that goes, well, I think he's unstable. Pow, shoot you just because he feels like that.
And Trump wants Project 2025 wants absolute immunity for police officers.
Now, also, Agenda 47. Don't get it twisted. He got his own shit too. The education. Let's get rid of that. Nobody remembers
2025 too. They want to get rid of the Department of Education. So you just keep them stupid, uninformed. they'll be able to do whatever they want to with us, dog. Trust
So
me.
is this racist to say
Listen,
that the bulk of white people that voted, because it is the bulk, 74 or 70, whatever percentage it was, and 59% or six, whatever, the 69% white women that did this. Would you say that the bulk of white people out of that are dumb or knew exactly what was going on? You think they were just, uneducated, or
I give them 50-50 on that. You know what I mean? Like plenty of them are, good old boys that, they're the Theo bros on over to just the straight up
how we
racist.
gonna act when we see these dudes, man? Because we see these people. I mean, I like Theo. I like his stand up, but I don't know him personally. But I mean, I don't know how I'm gonna act around him. Do I just be like, "Fuck away from me, man"? Like just out
I
the
mean,
blue?
I don't plan to interact with anybody that I know voted for Donald Trump, and that's just the thing. Like, if I know that you voted for Donald Trump, I have no interest in talking with you. I was saying this to my mother the other day too. It's just like all of the great minds. I may have said it here too, but all of the great minds, greater than mine, from Frederick Douglass, James Baldwin, Sojourner Truth, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Medgar Evers, they've all, even Ta-Nehisi Coates, Eric Michael Dyson, like we got a bunch of brilliant ass black people, Nicole Hannah Jones, out here spitting righteous knowledge. And it don't mean shit. Like, I took all the African American studies courses. I am proud to know this information.
But
It gives me understanding of the world around me and America I'm in, and it allows me to see that none of that shit has really, really changed in its essence and purpose and goal, which is honestly to subjugate and objectify black and brown bodies, for this capitalistic mechanism, right? That free labor, the cheapest labor they can get out of us, they will get it. That's what the immigrant population was. That they're being, I think they realize, wait, we don't need these people coming over here. We have incarcerated Negroes. Like, let's just keep doing that.
okay. Well, let me ask you this again.
So
Say
they're still talking.
say it becomes Latinos get a ton get deported. The when you look at the produce industry is going to take a huge hit, and on and on. And then they say, well, let's put more black people in prison. If black people say, I'm not going to pick no fucking oranges for you, I ain't doing that shit. I ain't doing it. Fuck you. Again, they're not going to bring whipping back.
What do you think prisoners are doing in prison nowadays? Do you think they're like, hey, Mr. Officer, do you think that I could do stuff for you? And like,
I'm saying, what can they do? And what can they do?
There's already involuntary servitude going on. It's something that I voted against here in California the other day, right? So like, it's already like prisoners are already being forced to work. So what would they do? They do what they've been doing. Beat the shit out of you. They get beat the shit out of in prison, right? But what else do? They would isolate you, right? They would starve you, right? Like whatever they did to Khalif Browder while he was there, they would do all of that shit to any prisoner, all of them. They could starve the whole cell block if they wanted to. But I mean, like, this country has always been able to do things and without people knowing about it. Like the civil rights movement, until the first broadcast of like dogs being sicked on black children, people in the North didn't really know what was going on. Like my mother's told me the story about like when her parents saw it and were like, wait, what's happening here? And I think we're in an even greater phase where with all the access, there's the ability to disinform and misinform people 24/7, 365. So there are prison conditions we now aware of right now that would blow your motherfucking mind. You know what I'm saying? So right now, prisoners are already. So if prisoners were like, we're not gonna pick strawberries, they're gonna be like, a gas leak at the Alabama Correctional Facility seems to have killed all the prisoners. Yeah. Quite unfortunate. Nobody detected it. Apparently, the carbon meters, the batteries hadn't been changed for years.
You know what? How did every plate of food get poisoned?
Everybody slipped and fell on knives. It was
Every single one of them. It was like a domino effect. One, and then another, and then another, and then another. It happened. So,
Man. And
but
then
now we got to fill up the prison. If you got to fill up the prisons more, what are you going to do?
whip it, screw. Pull over. I'm gonna stop you. I'm gonna frisk you. What is that in your pants? So, oh, now you're resisting it. Don't tense up. What are you, nervous? Huh? What's under that hat? Yeah, Simpson. I've seen this before.
Yeah.
So then,
So what's okay? Do we have, before we get up out of here? Do we have any concrete answers to this fuckery, or is it just we just lost? Now I know we lost the election, but we're just lost. There's nothing we can do, and the percentage of black men that did this and bragging about it and all this other stuff, I hate you. I can hate 18% of the population of black people. I love black people on a whole. On a whole, I love y'all, but that 18%, fuck y'all.
But they did not affect. They did not affect this election like
the 75%,
white
74%.
men and women. Yeah,
right.
Like,
but I'm saying for us, to us, I'm saying fuck y'all forever. Now to them, because we have to deal with them in certain, I mean, right now from a work standpoint for both of us, the people in charge of putting us on stage primarily are Caucasian. And hopefully
hasn't it always been the thing though? Like some clubs don't mind you doing whatever you do. Some clubs, they don't like politics. You know who the owner is. You tone it down here. You tailor this joke there. I mean, like I said earlier, there ain't no need in being quiet now. It's not like they ain't gonna find you. You know what I mean? Might as well get it off your chest. At least that's my plan. But also, I do this out of hobby and habit and desire. But I do understand that like the actual talking is over, right? Like there's no real debate going on. Like white America did make a huge choice yesterday, a huge choice.
Well, you said it, and you should say it again. If
you are white, and I'm going to tailor this a little bit. If you are white, voted for Trump, you are racist. You are racist.
Yeah.
Is 50 Cent cooning?
Oh yeah, 50 Cent. Yeah, he been.
Is he a Trump dude?
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
He's coontastic, man.
Guess who's getting booted from the iTunes today?
Yeah, I mean, what we got to do is there's a lady, Elizabeth Laba, and that's where I got the thing with the percentages of white men, white women, and there's some she says. Do you believe it now? You can see with your own eyes. The actions speak louder than the words. Hopefully, we will finally resign ourselves to what they want their reality to look like. The question now is, what do we want for our reality? Because this isn't it. What are you prepared to do to reimagine our reality for us and our children?
Moneymaker says, welfare red state cooked America. Amen. Poor white folk always voting against their best interests.
Well, because they're dumb. And also it's time to focus on what we control rather than investing physical, mental, and emotional labor, resources, and energy into systems that not only don't care or prioritize us, but were designed to harm us and destroy our communities. So what are we gonna do?
What is we gonna do?
I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get me a gun. I got my nunchucks. I got some throwing stars. And anybody think they say the wrong shit near this house?
I'm just trying to keep crackers off my porch and out my face. That's priority number one.
And again, if you're white and you're watching this,
my cool and my peace,
yeah. And I don't want, if you're white and you're watching this and going, well, that's not all of us. We know that. You know what number it is? It's 74% of white men.
it's 69% of white women. So it's definitely not all of you, but it's a lot of you motherfuckers.
And here's the problem: it's hard for us to just be able to tell the difference. I cannot tell. Just by
And the other races were 5% or whatever, 5% or big. The other, what if you take this down? The other races too, you motherfuckers.
Yeah, I mean, Latino men and women did not they missed the assignment.
Other races 55%. So fuck you too.
Oh, other races, yeah. Oh.
Yeah, so fuck you too. So everybody know that there's going. If you watch Savage AF, I know that I was asked the same thing by a couple people. Are you going to continue to do the show? I was a little. I wasn't that I didn't want to. I thought, how do I contain myself for the show consistently? Because now I'm worse than I was before, and I was already bad. And Pedro got us flagged, so you know he's fucking about that life.
Yeah,
We about so success wise of a show that you do. What do we do for the next 4 years if we do this? If I'm alive, Pedro's young. He's young man. He's in his 30s. He's what are you, 33?
I did that before, at least.
At least.
I mean, the reality is, I already said it. I do think that we're going to see a serious shift in the way that this country systematically moves towards overt oppression of certain groups, like overt. It's already happened over all these years, but like violence against the LGBTQIA community will be okay. Violence against Black people will be okay.
So you think it's going to be in your face more?
And I mean by the police, by white citizens. I think this group that voted for Trump is going to feel emboldened, and he's going to stoke that in order to maintain power. And I do believe that the Republican Party has bought into that. No matter what they say, some of them might, well, I don't agree with that, or I just think we want to focus on. At the end of the day, they're like, hey, if it works, as long as we get this and that done, then I don't care if you hang a few niggers. Niggers, what did I say? But anyways, that's what I think is about to, is like, what to do about it. I do not know. I made my steps 4 years ago, or took my steps towards responsible gun ownership to just protect me and mine. But system, like in mass, I don't know what the solution is, because
I don't know. I got
organized to handle that truly.
Yeah, and bottom line is, right now, everybody, Vanity Fair said it. This is our president. The rest of the country that is down with us knows that this guy was a fucking horror show, and he's going to be more of a horror show. I think the rest of the world is looking at us like, you did what, motherfuckers? Wait a minute. What? That's what the rest of the country is going to look. In fact, it was another writer. I've been on that, Deborah Von Broad said, so Ukraine, done. Eastern Europe, done. Taiwan, done. Goodbye Paris Climate Accord, done. Healthcare, done. Medicare, done. I'm just putting the done on there. Medicaid, Social Security, Department of Education, NOAA. So done. You get a hurricane, your ass is gone. Done. All those departments are going to disappear. Everything else is going to be churchified. I don't know if that's a word, but it is. If you're LBGTQ, LBGTQ, guess what? Rights reversed. Done. It's a wrap. It's a wrap if he puts all this stuff in the.
Gene Amerson points out, and then I do got to bounce. Joe Biden received 81 million votes in 2020 to Trump's 74 million. It's the people who didn't vote that fucked us over. I mean, Trump got less votes so far than he did last time. It didn't look like Joe Biden was going to get more votes this year. But she's blaming the people who didn't vote. And yeah, well, you know, I already said if you didn't vote, if you didn't participate in this process, you don't count. Okay. Yeah, I definitely don't want to hear from y'all motherfuckers.
Shut your mouth. Shut
Yeah.
your fucking mouth. Hey, you know what? I'm gonna have some soprano you. Hey, motherfucker, I don't give a fuck what you're gonna do. Shut your fucking mouth, okay?
I do not want to converse with you. I do not want to hear your shit.
Argentina.
In my face.
Moneymaker said Argentina 2.0. Wow.
Yeah, if you didn't vote at all, definitely don't say a motherfucking thing.
But you know what? But what we need you to vote on is subscribing to the channel. I know we didn't do that initially. We're gonna wrap it up with that. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Click the bell. Very important. Give us thumbs up to the page and follow at Black Pedro, BLACK Pedro. All right, on Instagram, myself, comedian Shang on Instagram, and on Threads, same shit as the Instagram. I lost because I was talking mad shit on there. I lost like 300 people in my Instagram that were talking shit to me. I blocked some people too. So like they started talking shit to me. I'm like, yo, Republican red states are dumb as fuck. It's been proven. So I said that. I said that on there, like, yo, y'all dumb as fuck. The poverty level's higher in red states than it is in blue states. That's a fact.
A lot of people have been doing unfollow sweeps through their because you know people they're coming out the woodwork now. You know, people that weren't willing to talk about it before, they're like, yeah, fuck yeah, Trump's here to save our country, and like now they're coming out of the woodwork on these platforms and
yeah, get the fuck on.
I know especially white people out there who, you know, the good white folk are finding out like, oh really, I didn't realize so and so was a cracker. That being said, guys, we'll be back tomorrow.
Tomorrow, 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Tomorrow night, I'll be at the Yamava Casino doing a show. What Jesus? I forget. Oh shit. I'll be doing a show at the Trail. I'll be there tomorrow night at 9 o'clock in Highland, California. Then this weekend, I'll be in New York City doing the Fuck Around and Find Out show for the New York Comedy Festival at Rodney's Comedy Club. And then I'll be at the St. Louis Flyover Comedy Festival, November 14th through the 16th. All of the dates are on my website. Go there. You can get the information. Come check me out live at the comedy show that's what I wanted to do. And let them know, since we changing it now, if you're voting for, let's close it out with the way it is instead of way it was.
If you're white and you voted for Donald Trump, you are racist. And if you're black and you voted for Donald Trump, you are stupid.
Dumb as fuck. That's it.
Peace.